These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another How About Them Celtics video. Sam and I are here recording on Friday, August 2nd, and the Celtics just they signed Anton Watson to a two-way contract. They drafted him with the 54th pick in this year's draft out of Gonzaga. I'm so used to them re-signing everybody that I just assume they re-signed him. On a deal with the Celtics, two-way contract that fills up all three of their two-way spots with him, J.D. Davison, and Drew Peterson. Eliminates the speculation that they could potentially sign him to the full contract after his impressive summer league stint. But this just ever since they drafted him, this felt like the obvious move, unless he like severely underperformed in practices and summer league, and they decided to cut ties in general. But like he was always going to make the team in some capacity, and now, according to Adam Himmelsbach of the Boston Globe, officially on a two-way deal in Boston.
Yeah, so Anton Watson was probably the biggest revelation of all of us. Like for all of us in summer league, I think we all had some expectations, considering, like you mentioned, second round draft pick, somebody who Brad Stevens had high praise for when they introduced him and Shireman to the media right after the draft before summer league. But what we saw from Watson in the summer league was so impressive because it was easily something you can visualize him doing next to strong, talented NBA players. His game consisted of being in the right spot, making the right reads, playing defense on the perimeter, and again, reading different defensive situations, putting himself in the best spot to defend. He was a very guy who had success with the summer league team, and if he does get any kind of burn at the real pro level, he shouldn't have very much difficulty adjusting to that. He shouldn't have difficulty fitting into Boston's lineup. He may not quite be ready yet in terms of his physical abilities. He may not be strong enough to guard some of the bigger guys in the NBA. However, something we've talked about for the last 2 years on this show now has been the Horford successor. And when the Porzingis trade happened, it felt like Porzingis would be the Horford successor as far as playing in the starting lineup, being the guy that stretches the floor and protects the rim. But it really feels like they still lack the guy who's going to take on the role that Horford currently holds. Going forward, that could be Anton Watson. He has the game. He was comped to old Al Horford by Kevin O'Connor in the draft process. He can shoot threes. He can defend multiple positions. The question now is whether or not it's going to translate on the parquet in Boston. Now, the good news is, even if it doesn't right away, he's going to have plenty of opportunities to play with the Maine Celtics, which are a pretty solid G League team, according to last year's results.
Yeah, I mean, the Celtics have done a good job over the past few years of throwing darts at trying to get some solidified plans for the long term at the big man spot. Like, even as crazy as it sounds, going back to like No Vonleh, like they're literally just been throwing darts at the board, trying to see what would stick for the past few seasons. And now you have a group of Cornette who's just going to give you solid minutes, and this is the best he's ever to be. But if that's a fine third big, that's all they need from him. Nemish Queta, who showed progress over last year and in the G League and everything. Xavier Tillman, who literally played in the finals and played big minutes and is, improving. He's already a switchable big, already a big-bodied guy who can bang down low. And now you have an Anton Watson, who DJ McClay said during summer league is an NBA level defender already. You've got a bunch of guys who you could potentially see helping replace the production that Al Horford gives you. And if any of them pop in any way, whether it's Tillman's three-point shot getting more consistent or Anton Watson becoming just overall, improving as he's a rookie right now, like you're set up for a pretty good future with Al Horford retiring soon. And as unfortunate as it is to think about, Porzingis probably is not going to play into his late 30s either. So you need to plan for the future without Porzingis as well, because with that injury history, he's probably going to play 34 maybe. And if at that point, he's probably not going to be the same player. So you've got to plan for the future at the big man spot. We can watch some of Watson's highlights from summer league as we chat about it, but it's just really impressive to see the way the Celtics have consistently found players who play the right way. And it feels like that was a big focus for them. Like Shireman and Anton Watson might not be the most high upside guys, probably not the biggest, PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps on PrizePicks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become a part of the PrizePicks community today. With PrizePicks, you could turn $10 into $1,000 while watching Team USA rack up the gold medals this summer. You can make a PrizePicks lineup of players across basketball, soccer, tennis, golf, and more in as little as 60 seconds. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and you're locked in. PrizePicks is available in more than 30 states across the country, including California, Texas, and Georgia. Sam and I use PrizePicks all throughout the NBA playoffs as the Celtics were making their run. If you guys tuned into the pregame show, you saw it. We like Drew Holiday blocks. We always pick Jason Tatum to get a dunk. That was a lock for us. And we always picked less on the opposing stars' points. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Potential they could have got at that spot in the draft, even though they were picking late, but they went with guys they know can produce in the NBA, even if it's just at a role player level, because realistically that's all they need right now, and that's all they'll need for a long while with Tatum and Brown and everybody else under contract for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, and as you watch these highlights, just keep in mind all of the things that he is doing easily can be translated to the big stage. Catch and shoot threes. Arc looks good in his shot. The form is pretty good. I think at the beginning you may have thought it was a bit slow. I don't know how you feel about that now, but
It's still slow,
going
but
to the
it's
basket.
Not the end of the world.
He hustles. He gets on the offensive glass. The first highlight was literally him cutting without the ball, putting himself in a spot to succeed. This is going to be another offensive rebound where he's just battling down low, getting himself in a position to succeed. Like, these are the kind of things that somebody that is young, trying to make a name for themselves in the league, trying to break into the rotation can do to earn favor of the organization, of the coaching staff, and to really impress people that are making the decisions. This is the reason why Boston drafted him. He's obviously a very intelligent basketball player. All of these highlights are coming from intelligent basketball decisions. That's why he's so exciting. Even if his highlights may not be super exciting, the skill set, the decision making, those are things that can translate to the big Celtics team. Like, this is what you want out of the draft, especially when you're trying to add depth at the big position, as Porzingis is going to miss time, as Al Horford's going to be on load management again. This is somebody who can come in and probably help you in spots. Not bad at all, especially with pick number 54.
Rewatching these highlights, I also think there is a chance Anton Watson is even better than people expect him to be. Like, just looking even at that pass that we just watched, like, that's not something big guys are usually capable of making. And I talked to a Gonzaga assistant for a story that I'm working on that it's not going to be out for a while because I still need to reach out to more people and talk to more people. But one of the things he said was like, yeah, he worked with John a lot. Like, he's an incredible passer. John being John fucking Stockton. Like this guy is an amazing ball mover. He's an amazing passer. He gets in passing lanes and he goes, yeah, I mean, he's great at defense and he gets a lot of steals. He gets a lot of assists. And when you work with a guy who leads NBA history in both of those categories, you're probably going to be pretty damn good at both of those things. So thinking about like the mold of Anton Watson, hearing a coach say, yeah, he's already an NBA level defender. If he stays confident from three, we've seen him be very adept at driving to the hoop and getting his own shot too. Like, he's very clearly more athletic than your traditional, even undersized big. Like, this could be a really, really useful, like, 5-tool player for the Celtics. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, 5 years from now, Anton Watson's going to start on the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? But you could see him playing a role where he is their first big off the bench, getting spot starts like down the line. Like, he has all of that talent, all of the potential, all of the instincts, all of the IQ. He does all the little things so well. At the end of the, like, when it comes down to it, you don't, like, this version of the Celtics that we got this year that won the title is such a unique one because every single player in the starting lineup is a star. You don't usually get that even with title teams. Like look at the Nuggets. Like, you look at the Nuggets starting lineup. Bruce Brown's not a star when they won. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope's not a star when they won. PJ Tucker wasn't a star for the Bucks when they won. Like, you usually don't get 5 all-star caliber players in starting lineup. And again, I'm not trying to say Anton Watson's going to start for them, but you look at everything he can do on the floor and you can so easily see a world where he takes the Horford minutes and plays starter minutes next to the Celtic stars because everything he does fits in so perfectly with everything the Celtic stars do. Even that little step in from the 3-point line, hitting a midi, like it's just looks like it's going to translate so perfectly to not only the NBA level, but Celtics basketball. And that should leave like a ton of confidence for what he could be for this team, especially in the future. Because I mean, everyone talks about him being an old rookie. He's 23 years old. Like he'll turn 24 before the start of the season, but that is still like perfectly in line with the Celtics score. So I'm very excited about Anton Watson.
Yeah, and another thing I was thinking about while you were talking, watching his jump shot, it might be a bit slow. It reminds me so much of Derek White's form. Just how it's kind of easy, fluid, right off the catch, you can get it up. The arc is good, like we mentioned before. He is absolutely somebody down the line that can fit in with this team. And the know-how, the way he can play both ends of the floor is important. Like you saw the block he had on Jaime Jaquez Jr., somebody who was up towards the top of the Rookie of the Year discussions last year. Like that's not some random scrub guy that you'll probably never see play basketball again. Like no, that was a guy that started in a playoff series against the Celtics this year. He just happened to be playing for the Heat Summer League team, and Watson stuck with him on the drive, sent his shot off the backboard. Like these are legitimate high-level plays. There's a reason why they just gave him this two-way contract. They want to see what they can get out of him at the pro level. Well, I guess they're both technically the pro level, but the NBA level, while also letting him develop at the G League level. The minutes might not be there for him just yet. But again, down the line, I think we both feel confident in Watson. Feels like the organization is confident in Watson.
GameTime is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the GameTime app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. I remember my dad taking me to Fenway Park as a kid, getting to watch David Ortiz and Dustin Pedroia sitting in the Green Monster and taking in all there is to love about the iconic ballpark. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, GameTime takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Taking a look at my GameTime app right now, I see plenty of great deals to watch my favorite sports teams and my favorite tickets to Noah Khan. You guys know that's my favorite artist. I even used it while in Las Vegas for Summer League to get tickets to a women's basketball game. Some of my favorite features in the GameTime app include letting me see what the price is going to be with fees included. It makes so much easier to take a look and see what the actual price I'm going to pay is. Also, you get to see exactly where you are sitting. It's a great way to know exactly the experience you're going to get. I also love the fact that you can get great last-minute deals. Save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, or anything else. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off.
His pedigree, Jack mentioned training with John Stockton, like that goes a long way. That there's a know-how that comes with that. There's a feel for the game that he clearly has that's going to translate and help him fit in with the Celtics. I think maybe we'll do a fun little floor ceiling thing here, Jack. But when I think of like ideally, it's tough not to say Al Horford's like we'll leave out Horford. Like a Grant Williams ceiling like wouldn't be that bad, right?
I think he'd be better than Grant Williams. And you know how much I like Grant Williams, but
Yeah.
Grant Williams was so one-dimensional in the sense that he'll play good defense and he'll shoot threes, and there's not much else. And when you saw him try to expand his game, it looked a little rocky, and it still probably is. Anton Watson's already comfortable putting the ball on the floor. He's already comfortable driving to the rim. He's already probably a better passer than Grant Williams is. I don't think he's better than Grant Williams right now because I don't think the defense is. I mean, we haven't seen him defend at the NBA level, and we have seen Grant Williams defend at the NBA level successfully. In the three-point shot, Grant Williams is a better three-point shooter right now, and that's not really a debate. But he's bigger. He is probably stronger or can be stronger, and he just feels like more of a multi-tool guy than Grant ever was. And so I think you can see a world where he is probably not Al Horford, like you said. It's. I don't think he's big enough to defend bigs like Al Horford does consistently. I don't think he's as good of a three-point shooter is, or maybe never will be, but you can see a really fun outline of a player at the big man spot who any team would be happy to have fit in with their roster. I would have to look around the league and like think of other NBA comps, but like he's a damn good player, and he's going to play really, really solid minutes for the Celtics team. I think at some point down the line.
Yeah, I completely agree. I just feel like he's someone who's going to be confident enough to fit in when they need him to. He's probably going to see some stints this season just based on the roster shape right now. Porzingis' question mark return, Horford being simply old. There's going to be opportunities for him. It's a question of whether or not he's ready when they come. Feels like he's going to be. He just has shown so much poise just in the small sample size we've seen of him. So I'm very excited to watch Anton Watson. I think he can be somebody down the line that's going to be a Celtic for a while.
This is going to sound completely egregious, and I need to make it perfectly clear that I don't think Anton Watson is this good, and he will never be this good, in my opinion. But the only thing I could possibly think of to comp to Anton Watson is a D or C tier version of Team USA Bam Adebayo. That is all I could think of in my head when I was thinking about it. Because you can see the defense, you can see the passing, you can see the 3-point shots, and there's just not a lot of bigs who have all those tools. And obviously Bam Adebayo does. And again, Bam Adebayo is a top 15 player in the NBA. He's a multi-time perennial all-star. He should be. He should probably have won a defensive player of the year at this point. Anton Watson won't be that. So I don't want any Heat fans or anybody, Celtics fans, to get their hopes up for that, because I don't think he'll be that. But if he can be like a C-tier version of that, the Celtics will be very, very, very pleased. And I think that is what he could be on track to be, not even what he is right now. So I'm high on Anton Watson. I think he's great. Let me know, or let us know what you guys think of Anton Watson, of the signing, all that good stuff. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you don't miss any of our daily uploads. We're coming at you with new content every day in the summer. Even though there aren't games, we're here for you. When there are games, we have game recaps this morning after each game. For now, we have podcasts Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, and other videos to keep you busy in between. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple. All of our pods and recaps will be there for you. So if you follow us, those will go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com is the address. We read all of your emails, every single pod. So get them in. We love to hear from you. hbtcpod@gmail.com. The socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's the name of the pod. Streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at Jack's Money NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us.
Taco. Come on.
Taco's having some fun here.
That is bogus.